Welcome to the Neo operational video series for software version 3.8. These videos are designed for targeted instruction to get you up to speed quickly and simply. This video targets basic mode. Neo has an amazing array of setup options and features, but sometimes it's too much, especially for entry-level users. So System Properties has a mode called basic mode, and you can get into basic mode by switching the advanced switch over to basic mode, or if you're just starting up your console for the first time, you'll get a splash screen that will allow you to pick between advanced or basic mode, and we're going to talk about basic mode. So notice that if you do switch from advanced into basic mode, uh, it will reset some fixtures when applied, but understand that this is to get you to a set of theatrical defaults that is simple, consistent, and basic. So let's go through these basic options. They are broken down into 4 areas, each with its own little bordered graphical location. And we'll start with the top left. So these are your DMX output options. If you are communicating over a network, you do get to set your protocol, whatever it may be, from ShowNet to Streaming ACN to Pathport, ArtNet. On the right are your console DMX port settings. By default, they will be matching port number and universe number, but that can be changed as needed. If you do change this, understand that your DMX card is optically isolated, so it can act as a DMX merger if you have multiple ports going to the same universe. Just make sure you don't have overlapping DMX addresses. To the right here are some basic system settings. You have your on level. This is what your on button will do when pressed. Your up and down level keys. You have up and down keys that are labeled as such on your console, and they will move in 5% increments, and you can change that to whatever you want. You do have 2 Grandmasters on your Neo, so you can choose how their Grandmaster buttons are assigned. By default, they are a dead blackout momentary. Some people like to disable them for safety reasons, or there are several other options that you can choose. Your AV fader mode, this is your primary playback. This is your double wide select stop, back, and go buttons on the left side of your desk with the split faders. It's about what the faders do. By default, they are disabled. Otherwise, you have 3 options that you can choose from here. A new feature in 3.8 is preset fader mode. With this checked, your console will now become a preset desk so that your faders can work in a preset style of operation. There's a separate video covering that feature if you're interested in that, but this is where it's turned on. You can show command line syntax help. Next section, automatic show file backups. This is very important to set up, and I recommend you have both of these locations set up. By default, the first one will go to a backup folder on the hard drive. I recommend setting up the second backup location to a USB key that you have. Number of automatic backups, it defaults to 10, and it will save them every 5 minutes. Now this only occurs if changes are occurring to the show file. If all you're doing is running the show, no backups will be created. Show defaults. We have queue list defaults of queue time and downtime. We have default tracking record mode. This is currently set to tracking. You may be more comfortable in a queue only style of operation, or a relatively new option which does queue only for intensities and tracking for attributes, so it melds these 2 worlds for you. You can have the system mark, and marking is where the attributed fixtures prepare themselves for their next available use. You can have it turned off, mark as early as possible, or the theatrical default, which is mark as late as possible. To the right here, you can determine when you record what it will include. Will it include running effects when recording cues? Will it include submasters values when recording cues? Will it include palettes when recording cues? These can also be controlled from your live screen at the top right on your sidebar. You can just click those to turn them on and off. Additionally, in basic mode, you can play an introduction video. So what this will do is launch the web browser on your console, and it will allow you to play a video within that web browser. Now you do have the registration tab, which will show the registration of your system, and that's the options that you get within system properties. There are a couple of additional changes in basic mode. Many of these pull downs are simplified. The most dramatic one would be the view pull down. So it takes away a lot of the advanced options, so it's pretty basic by its name as to what you have available for you. So that's basic mode. So thanks for watching this Neo operational video for software version 3.8. Go to the Philips Strand website at www.strandlighting.com for many more videos on Neo programming and operation.